questions to get us going today. We will begin with Gail Davis from Sky Sports News. Gail.
Afternoon, Graham.
Afternoon.
So, Real Madrid in the draw. Do you still think you can blink win the Champions League?
Well, I said we would try to blink win the Champions League, and that's the same for, I'm pretty sure, for the other 7 clubs as well. And all the other clubs will say that you can lose in the quarter-final because that's the nature of the Champions League. We'll focus on Real Madrid when we get there, but at the moment it's Everton.
Be honest, because there's just a slight sinking feeling there. The English clubs seem like they may have been a little bit hard done by in the draw today.
No, the feeling is excited, but as I said, I'd rather speak about Everton because that's the game tomorrow, and the other stuff is a long way away.
Yeah. You did look like you were having a little bit more fun than the last time I was here, though, from that video.
Sorry?
You did look at least like you were having a little bit more fun when we saw the clips of that video with the fans. I think 2 weeks ago when I was here, you were talking about death threats, and it looked a long way from that.
Well, it was a nice event in front of I think 1,000 or so supporters, and the atmosphere was good. It was a good evening.
Yeah. Is life a little bit better?
Well, after 3 wins, yeah, you have to say that, of course. It's always nice to win, as we said before. Results give everybody a bit of belief and a bit of happiness. So that's what we're here for. We're here to win.
And for you, having come through that bit, I mean, I guess you didn't really doubt yourself. You can never doubt yourself, but there must have been moments when you thought, am I going down the right path here? Well,
it's a difficult moment for us all connected with the club because the results weren't what we wanted. So, and we all have to deal with that, and I have to take that responsibility. As I said, if results aren't good enough, then that's absolutely fine. I accept that. So, whatever criticism comes your way, you have to deal with, and you have to come through the tough moments. It's all very well managing Chelsea when things are going well. You've got to deal with it when it's not going so well, and I tried to do that as best as I could.
What do you feel the biggest change has been, or is it just maybe a little bit of luck?
Well, it's handy to have that. You need that, I think, as much as you can be good. It's also important to be lucky, but you can't wait for that to come around. You've got to keep going. Sometimes football, you don't get the rewards. Sometimes you have to keep going and fight through the storm, and there was a storm for a period of time, absolutely. So we've come out of it with 3 wins, but we need to carry on. We've got a tough game against Everton. Sean Dyche has done a great job since he's gone in there. We're a tough team to play against, so we're looking forward to that challenge in front of our supporters.
Last one, Gail.
Yeah, I just want to clear up a couple of injury things because there's no Sterling in the England squad. So where's he? When might we see him? Can we just run through a couple of others?
Yep, Raheem's problem with his hamstring is not too serious, but he'll miss the game at the weekend and he'll miss the international trip. Same as Mason. Mason he's been struggling a little bit with his pubic bone. Wasn't 100% the last game, still not quite there, so he'll miss the England camp as well. Thiago's still away, Aspi's still away. Apart from that,
is he?
chance of being in the squad.
And how good does that feel?
Yeah.
You had to name him in the squad.
Yeah, it's the first time, so it's fantastic. Yeah, great.
Thank you. Moose, talk sport.
Can I start by asking for your thoughts on Patrick Vieira being sacked at Crystal Palace today?
Well, firstly, it's never nice to hear when a colleague loses his job, clearly. And I have a huge respect for Patrick. He's a gentleman, firstly. I think the way he's conducted himself all the time has been exemplary. And but it's football. It's the business. We're all at the mercy of that, and it's not for me to say what football clubs should and shouldn't do. We accept that it's part of the job, but obviously I wish him well. He's a top person and he's a top manager. From
an outside point of view, I mean, 9 of the 20 clubs in the Premier League this season have changed their manager, including yours and Everton tomorrow. Is this becoming a more precarious, difficult job to have, being a football manager in the Premier League?
I wouldn't use the word precarious, or what was it, the word dangerous? Difficult, sorry. Well, difficult, yeah, it's of course it's more difficult than it should be because it's the highest level, so it shouldn't be easy. and we all go into it with our eyes open in terms of we know the consequences, and we have to, you have to deal with it. I think again we speak a lot about perspective. There's a lot of people worse off than us, so no one's asking for sympathy or pity for sure, but it's a pressurised job because football is it's that emotional. It means a lot to a lot of people, and you're under scrutiny and pressure, so we have to deal with it.
Top 4 still in your sights, or are you looking top 6? Where are you right now in terms of where you think Chelsea will finish this season in the Premier League, or where you want them to finish?
Well, where we are now is to focus on Everton. It's 3 points up for grabs against, like I said, a tough team, a team that's gone in the right direction with Sean. They play really well to their strengths, and that's all we can focus on. We don't worry about what we're going to do in May or June. We just focus on tomorrow.
And finally, to that end, a lot of their strengths, a lot of Sean Dyche's football team strengths have always been set pieces, corners, defending free kicks. How much of that tomorrow is going to be a key to keeping Everton at bay so you can go and do your stuff at the other end of the pitch?
Well, I think they are strong in that area. The data would suggest that, absolutely. So that's something they've done really well. But it's not the only thing they do well. I think they do a lot well. They defend well, they defend high, they defend low well. They attack with clarity. They use the resources that they have well. So I have a huge respect for Sean Dyche because of how he plays and how he affects the team and how he affects the players. So it's a tough game.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Nick Godwin, BBC Sport.
You must have tackled Sean Dyche many times before. I'm just going back to how difficult is it to play a Sean Dyche team when they're in the position they're in, backs to the wall, fighting for everything they lay their hands on?
Well, I think it's wherever they are, it's always difficult because he's a fantastic coach. Firstly, his record is, it's impressive. To do what he did at Burnley was a fantastic achievement, I think, and you can see the effect that he's had on Everton. They, as I said, they play to their strengths. They're incredibly motivated. They know what they're doing. There's clarity in all the phases. So we're under no illusions. We know how difficult the game is, but we're really looking forward to it. It's a fantastic test for us at home, in front of our supporters on the back of 3 games. But we have to play well.
There's a lot of attention at the moment on Premier League clubs and their travel plans, using flights. I know you flew to Leicester, and Chelsea not alone in this. We're asking Premier League managers about their thoughts on whether these flights are necessary and what the benefits are as well, and on a personal level whether you, the players, have any reservations about the contributions that they might be making or these flights might make towards global warming.
Well, I think it's something that we increasingly have to look at because, and I think it's something we have to do better with. It's my personal opinion. That's not to say it's straightforward because there's factors, but I think it's an area we can improve.
Okay, thank you. Simon Johnson, Athletic, and then David Day to finish. Simon.
Hey Graham, getting back to saying Ngolo, it's almost sort of gone unrecognised sort of how significant a miss he's been. I mean, how big a boost would it be for Chelsea's end of the season? And the fact you've got games to get him match fit, of course, ahead of Real Madrid, which is what all fans feel worried about.
I mean, there'll be managers before me that have spoken very highly of Ngolo because he's a top player, and that's he's a huge miss to us. He's been a huge miss to us. That's not to say that the other players haven't given absolutely everything, because they have, but N'Golo Kante is N'Golo Kante. He's a top player. So great for us that he's back. We need to be mindful of the fact that he's had a long injury, and we need to make the next steps to get him up to speed properly in the Premier League, which is what we'll do. But it's great to have him with us.
And the fact that you've got sort of a few, you can go slow and steady with him before that first leg and the second leg as well. It is significant, isn't it, that you've got time to get him up to full speed.
Yeah, but I think my own thoughts on it is when you've had a player of that injury and that length, that you have to take those steps regardless of whatever our situation is. You have to take the steps that get him up to speed, get him up to be the player that he is in a responsible way, and doing it as safely as we can, which enables him to take the right steps to get forward, and once he's at his highest level, then he's a huge player for us.
Last question in this section, David.
Hi, got you.
Hi.
I want to take you back to the Champions League and ask you about Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid's manager. What do you think about him, if you know him?
I don't know him personally. I played against him when he was the coach at Everton. He's a gentleman, and I mean, there's nothing I can say in terms of how much respect I have for what he's achieved in his career. It's amazing. I think the length of time between Champions Leagues, is it 20 years?
Yeah.
So that's amazing. It's incredible.
And about Chelsea now, you're winning with a back three. What made you decide that this is the best way to play for your team?
Well, we had a couple of injuries which can change the dynamic of our side, and we looked at the performance of the team and thought we needed just to adjust things, and the back three felt like a better way for us to go. So it was just in terms of how we attack, how we defend, it felt like better for us.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Cameras off, please.